Good morning. Thank you for joining us here at Upswing today. My name is Jan. We're here to talk about strengthening student success through using a virtual assistant. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat today. We'll be sure to answer them at the end of the presentation. So before we get started, I want to provide a quick overview of Upswing, and then we'll get into a deeper conversation around our virtual assistant, Anna. At Upswing, we're on a mission to end attrition. And what this means is that we partner with colleges and universities to increase student retention, persistence, and graduation rates. In fact, since we began our work 8 years ago, we have prevented nearly 50,000 dropouts, and our partners have seen an average persistent rate increase between 10 and 15%. We partner with over 70 colleges and universities in the nation currently, many of which actually use our virtual assistant, Anna. Also, you can see here our social impact investors who help to support our mission. Upswing is a mobile-first student engagement solution that helps students get what they need when they need it by really meeting them where they are on their mobile devices. So Anna is a text-based virtual assistant that can do several things to support students during their academic journey, including sending out words of encouragement and support, reminders, and also conducting insightful surveys and polls. We can also connect students to our Upswing platform. It's really a student success platform where they can get access to tutors, advisors, writing support, assignment review, as well as mental health resources. So we really do focus in on the whole student when it comes to providing students with this particular platform. Many of our schools actually use this platform to augment their existing services, so they have a place to go 24/7 accessible, so they have that augmented service capability. Anna can also connect students to college resources, so your resources from financial aid to class registration and anything in between, as well as connecting students to your admins when they need it most. So what can our virtual assistant do? And why is it different from chatbots and other texting services? Well, first and foremost, Anna is driven by both artificial intelligence as well as by humans. In this way, we're able to provide both automation where it's needed and human or personalized support where it's needed. And we'll dig into this in a second, a little bit more deep. Anna is a two-way communication stream that can answer questions by students at any time, helping to reduce staff time, answering those questions that come up often. Anna can also act as a student guide when they need it most. And that's critical in terms of timing for students to get them what they need when they need it. Anna also provides that ability to lend an ear to create an opportunity to connect when it's needed, providing them with pertinent reminders and updates and encouragement based on what's happening during the course of the academic term. And the students can really provide that feedback so that you get to understand what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're needed at any point during the course of the year. Our engagement team actually works very closely with our partner schools to create message plans that are in line with each institution's goals, combined with the understanding of the student journey during the academic term. Our best practices around student engagement is to focus on messaging that supports a holistic approach. So as you can see here, this sample message plan that we put together includes topics such as stress awareness, throughout the academic term, promoting academic resources when they might need it most, to even mental health awareness. And if you look at the end of the semester, focusing on finals prep, finals motivation, things of that nature. So we really do work very deliberately to make sure that these message plans are in line with the academic journey. So we're very intentional when it comes to these messaging plans, like I said, and our goal is not to really inundate students with all types of messaging, but rather to send out 1 or 2 times a week because we don't want students to opt out. We want to make sure that these messages are messages that are intentionally specific and will provide value to them. We also vary the days and times the messages are sent. And again, focus on the academic calendar. So they're really pertinent depending on the time of the academic semester. So I wanted to give you a sense of some of the surveys and feedback that we actually conduct with some of our college partners. And so this one here is specific to student success, asking students what they really need in order to be successful this semester. The responses from the students in this survey point to the fact that they really need help around avoiding procrastination, prioritizing my time, and staying focused. So what's great about these surveys is that these will help you with continuous improvement on your end so that you can update all of your tools and your resources for students based on these surveys. And then also you can look at the back end to see which students need what kind of help so that you can actually work with them directly on some of these particular areas. Here's another example of a survey where we've asked around financial aid. So many of our partner schools look to Anna to be a student concierge or student censor or student guide. And so it can really help you figure out in real time what students are feeling, needing, and where they're getting stuck. I love this one because it's a great example of a survey asking students whether Anna is useful to them. And as you can see here, it's overwhelmingly positive. Finally, in the spirit of our next holiday, here's a Thanksgiving gratefulness survey, asking students what they're most grateful for this semester, increasing a positive feeling with students around the connection to their institution. Again, we've worked intentionally here at Upswing to develop Anna with a particular persona and tone that increases student connection and engagement. First, she's friendly and informative and witty and encouraging, and she frames messages in a variety of ways to engage a diverse pool of students. Her persona also prompts students to commit to action to support their success. And I think this is really important as we want students to feel empowered to take the right steps by themselves to be successful. We can also work on weekend support to interact with students. We can segment student messages to different kinds of student groups on campus. And that's something that we would work on during the implementation process, is to understand what kind of messaging might work best with certain groups on campus. So whether they're first gen or student athletes, that's something that we would work with you very closely on. Anna can also connect students to administrators when it's needed the most. So we'll actually work on setting up emergency protocols. So if there's any particular issues when it comes to suicidal ideation or something of that nature or other serious issues, we'll set up that protocol to make sure that you're connected to immediately with that student. Finally, we provide engagement metrics to our partner schools so that you'll have insights as to the student needs, feelings, and where they're getting stuck. So what powers Anna? I've mentioned that it's a combination of artificial intelligence and humans, and we use both decision tree automation and natural language processing to power on the artificial intelligence side of things. And these two technologies really power more of the FAQ-driven questions and answers, or those repeated questions where we know there's a pretty much of a straightforward answer. But then there's that human side of Anna that I've touched upon that's very unique. And that's where we drive connection, support, and those meaningful engagements. So here are some examples of the decision tree type of survey on the left-hand side. That's much more straightforward compared to the free form on the right-hand side that provides encouragement to students where we may or may not actually get a response from the student. So this is a really personal favorite, I think, of many of us here at Upswing, where The student was very responsive with Anna during the course of the semester and reached out near the end to say that she actually had withdrawn. But through a little bit of empathy and understanding, Anna was able to nudge the student in the right direction. So it was a really gratifying exchange to see that the students said to themselves, I talked to my instructors and, it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to do it anyway. And thanks for the encouragement, Anna. So a great story and testament to the work that we're doing here. So to summarize what Anna is and what Anna can do, Anna is a virtual assistant for a student that engages with them in a two-way communication stream. It is text-based, so it's on their phone. It's not an app. There's nothing to download. You can think of it as an extension or a representation of your institution, providing support and care when you cannot be there, extending your culture of care through the use of technology and humans. One other aspect of Upswing I wanted to bring to your attention is that we have what we call our hero program here at Upswing, whereby if you were to become a partner institution of ours, you would get one single point of contact from implementation through to renewal. These heroes here at Upswing are trained in higher education and provide best practices as well as the data and insights that you need. So it's a very different kind of model. It's not a customer service model where you have to call in and wait in a queue. You'll actually get to know this person on an ongoing basis. And that's a really special part of our program here. Finally, I wanted to share with you some efficacy and impact around some of our partners' goals and what they've been able to experience through partnering with us here at Upswing. So for example, Texas Southmost College saw withdrawals and failures decrease by 12%, saving them over $200,000 in tuition. Houston Community College students increased their GPA by 0.05 on average with each intervention. And Navarro College, a rural college in Texas, actually saw their passing rates increase by 11%. So we're really very happy about some of the things that we're doing here at Upswing. And I wanted to share this with you because it's really impactful work that we're doing. Lastly, this is actually something I brought into this presentation at the last minute because we get these kinds of comments all the time from students. So this one here, you can see the student has responded. Thanks so much for all the help and encouragement along the way. So again, we get these all the time, and it's really impactful that the work that we're doing here. So thank you so much for your time, and I'd love to answer your questions.
Thanks, Jan. We did have a couple questions in the chat. One was, can our staff on campus send messages via Anna?
Yes, that's a great question. And actually, we don't do that. And there's a couple of reasons why we don't. One is to protect the integrity of who Anna is and what she does. So we really want to intentionally make sure that her persona and her tone is really consistent, and that the number of messages is really kept to a minimum too, because we don't want students to really opt out. So we do really recommend that Anna stay in-house here at Upswing.
Great, thank you. The other question was, what kind of data can you receive about Anna usage or student responses?
Yeah, great question. Thank you for that. So we do provide metrics around the campaign success, as well as student engagement. In addition, you can also see which students are answering these surveys and polls specifically, so you can reach out to that student and follow up. So there's a variety of ways that we can provide that data and insights to you. Any other questions?
That was it in the chat so far.
Well, great. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us here at Upswing.